Speaker. Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Housing and Homelessness. Minister, despite all the federal government talk about doubling housing and homelessness funding for Tasmania will in fact decline this year under the National Agreement on Social Housing and Homelessness from $38.1 million to $37.4 million. This is the biggest proportional decline of any state. Minister, I'm sure you understand the dire housing situation in Tasmania as well as I do. How on earth could you let this happen?
Call to the Minister for Housing, the Minister for Homelessness and the Minister for Small Business.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Clark for his question. I understand where he's coming from with this question and his concern for the people of Tasmania who are struggling with housing challenges.
Order.
And indeed, I share his concern in terms of what is happening in Tasmania with housing. But I want to reassure the member for Clark that the inference of his question is actually not true. No state or territory is going backwards in funding under the new agreement. None. And that is not including all of the additional money as well that we are having as part of our $32 billion Homes for Australia plan. As I say to the member, I have been working very closely with the Tasmanian State Government, and indeed since the election, our election, we've provided now more than $145 million to Tasmania since we came to office for homelessness services and to build more homes. And under Housing Australia, with the Housing Accord and the Housing Australia Future Fund, Tasmania, as one of the smaller jurisdictions, will be getting at least 1,200 homes on top of that funding. So Tasmania will be getting our fair share, let me assure you of that, as will other states and territories. I actually had the opportunity just a few weeks ago to go and announce 15 new social homes with the Tasmanian Minister Felix Ellis in Berriedale in the members' electorate. And standing next to me, the Tasmanian Liberal Minister Felix Ellis said, and I quote, "The federal government has provided significant new funds." End quote. These homes are, of course, being supported by the $50 million that we provided the Tasmanian government through the social housing.
The Minister will pause. The member for Clark on a point of order.
Speaker, point of order. Regarding the National Agreement on Social Housing and Homelessness, the Minister is attempting to mislead the parliament.
No, member for Clark. You're unable to, under the standing orders and practice, to even suggest that. So, to assist the House with a long line of precedents, I'm going to ask the member for Clark to withdraw.
Speaker, I withdraw.
Minister in continuation.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Clark. I will reiterate, no state or territory will be receiving any less under the new housing agreement. Let me be very clear about that. I'm happy to have a meeting with the member for Clark and go through the figures and to clear this up with him. I'm also happy to advise the member for Clark that 25,000 Tasmanians will be benefiting from an increase in the Commonwealth rent assistance. The first back-to-back increase in more than 30 years. That will be supporting many Tasmanians. And since the last election, the Albanese Labor government has also supported now 1,500 Tasmanians into home ownership through our expanded and improved home guarantee scheme. And of course, we want to do more with Help to Buy, the shared equity scheme. And I'll continue to work with the Tasmanian government to deliver more homes for Tasmanians that need them.